I mean, I've jumped in some cold water before. The
Yeah.
blue pool in near Eugene's super cold. Uh, the Pacific Ocean where I'm from here on the coast, that's cold. The
Cracker
Pacific
Lake was
Ocean in
cold.
Hawaii, not cold.
Cracker Lake was cold.
Cracker Lake, cold as shit.
We can wander our way over, because this is Wandering Ways.
What's Bigfoot possibility? Yeah.
Clink.
Clink, 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 clink.
How are you today?
Perfect and getting better, man. The weather, still hot, but it's a nice hot, or maybe I'm just used to it now.
I talked about last time it being kind of cold, or me coming from the hot. It's hot again. That's just where I'm gonna go. Hot, cold, hot. It's hot right now. I'm tan, got that dark tan as always. Hey ha ha.
No, it's hot. It's hot here. Um,
It's gonna be a hot summer. I feel like it has. It's rolled
yeah.
out that way for sure. But big things, man. We're going places. We've been places. We're still happening, hipping and hopping. It feels like it just doesn't stop. But that love for nature is there. Like I am at home now. I'm having a hard time getting into the work mode again because I've just been on such a nature high. It's nuts. Like just go, 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 go. I bought that pedal boat for me and Thea. I have my canoe. I have my kayak. I'm looking at getting another boat. I just like my watercrafts, and
Yeah, you can tell.
I'm excited. It's fun. I like being out on the water. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the ancestral Ojibwe roots. Being out in the rice fields, rice paddies, on canoes. Who knows what it may be.
I don't know either. No, it's summer is you nature time, man. You want to get as much as you can. I know I have been trying to do as much as I can, even since being back. We got back and started doing stuff right away.
It's crazy, but it's great. It's always great. Tyler right now is in Glacier, and it's like, damn, I wish I was there with him. But oh my gosh, we've been just going so much. This last weekend,
It would be
was
cool to be in Glacier right now.
yeah. We normally are this time of year, and it's a good time of year to do so. The water I think is still melting enough. I'm curious to talk to him after it, specifically because I'm not seeing a lot of snow in the mountains right now for this time of year. And like we've been in Glacier this time of year where there has not been that much snow, but then there's been tons of snow at places like Hidden Lake. So it's kind of curious this year to see what it's at, especially with fire season and everything else we've talked about before on the podcast. But it's a beautiful time of year. If it is kind of that early summer, in Glacier, all the wildflowers this time of year just be blooming. So I'm excited to see and hear what he has to say when he gets back. But I'm jealous.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting to see because it has been hotter, like the impact it's had up there. You really can't go wrong if you go to Glacier. So of course
No.
I'm hella jealous. He's he's making a memory, having a story himself. So it's all.
Well, and I'm
It's all about.
interested because this is the first year they're doing that reservation system for the Going to Sun Road.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
yeah, and honestly, like we've been going there together. Me and you've been going there for 5-6 years now. But I've been going there a lifetime, and I just finally, I'm 26 years old almost. This to see this, right? To see this happen in my life, to be like, wow, like Glacier Park, Montana isn't becoming as outdoorsy in that sense. It's becoming overpopulated, overcrowded. But I'm glad and humbled to be able to do it before the reservation system too. Because
I thought the reservation system was because of COVID.
I think so, but
It brings up the question, though: do they keep it?
And that's why I think they do, and I think it is that population thing, because the parks, we've seen record breaking numbers this year, which is good. Don't get me wrong. I love that everyone's getting outdoors and being outdoors. And a lot of our followers probably are those adventure seekers. And, shoot us an email, at wanderingwayspodcast@gmail.com. And we would love to hear what you're doing this summer, and what you and your family, or you and your adventure buddies, pals, whatever you may call them, are doing. Because we love talking, sharing stories, just hearing from you guys. So shoot that our way.
Yeah. It will be. I'm interested to see if the parks that adopt the reservation system keep it.
Well, I think Zion does.
I heard they got rid of it already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it just wasn't working or being run properly.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was working and they just don't want to do it.
I get that too, but I could I do see going to Sun Road being needed to be navigated, specifically because the going to Sun Road is it's a one-way road essentially. When you're up, there's not too many turnarounds, so you're probably going to the other side of the park, or one of the turnarounds, and then you're going the other way. It's such a narrow road. There's not a lot of stopping. People do make stops. It's kind of hard to make stops on the going to Sun, which I think we've been blessed before due to wildfires and due to traffic and other reasons that we've stopped on the going to Sun Road and adventured. But it's an interesting one. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily against some of the reservation kind of system, because I for sure there are hikes that need that kind of deal.
I don't want to worry about it for myself. So I think, as a Native American, as someone with Blackfeet ancestral people, I should just be able to do it whenever.
I get that argument.
And I should protest that so that I can just do it.
Just refrain people from seeing it, but there becomes a safety issue.
Oh, 100%. That road is dangerous. We've seen wrecks on that road. And it's kind of was that you? It was probably you and me when we saw that tow truck, and it was getting that car that kind of went into that waterfall.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah. And they were sitting there for hours just because of that tow truck couldn't get in a position to pull the car out because of how tight this road is. So that's why, another reason, you got to be very fucking careful when you're on these roads.
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. That's why there's pros and cons to it. I'm interested to see how it progresses.
Well, what I like, and it works in some places, like the Wave in Arizona, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go see the Wave, you got to do the permit system, which I think is fair.
Yeah, or Half Dome in Yosemite.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people do it, so you got to plan and think ahead, and that's part of what we get into, planning. Always have a proper plan plan that it will go wrong.
Yeah, make sure you plan that it will go wrong.
It does. When doesn't it?
No, you're not wrong there.
What trip have we gone on where everything happens to the T?
Oh, nothing. I always say something always goes wrong. So when it happens at the beginning, glad to get it out of the way.
Because that first glacier trip me and you did together, that very first trip we went on, we didn't get our first pick for backcountry, and then we found Quartz Lake, and 6 years later, Quartz Lake Productions is still producing podcasts. But
yeah, Quartz Lake still around.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It really is. And you got to plan. You just got to plan that your plan will go wrong.
100%.
But we got some big stuff for our listeners today, because we had a kind of a crazy turnaround after our big Hawaii trip. Right back into nature, right back into adventure.
Yeah, separately this time, though.
Yeah. Separately, but the same.
Yeah. Separate but together.
Yeah.
Or together but separate.
Exactly.
No,
Which
yeah,
is,
no, because it was the 4th of July weekend. I know this isn't now as you're listening, but it was recently for us. And you were up in that state that you call home in Montana. I
yeah,
was
I,
here in
I
Oregon.
was in the Northwest. I was up there at the good old Seeley Lake, and Seeley Lake's turning into kind of the hot spot or a hot spot for the 4th because it's one of the towns that has a fireworks show out on the lake. It's actually this year they upgraded the fireworks. I kid you not. This was the best goddamn fireworks show I've seen on that lake. I don't know if it's because they didn't do it last year and they saved. No, I think they did do it last year. But like maybe their budget wasn't as much because of COVID and they had a little more budget, but they had some like professional ass fireworks this year.
I've been there when the fireworks aren't that good. So like I get
No. And like it's weird because some years they're good and then other years they suck. But the same band from Eugene, Oregon or whatever that's always there played. Always. They're there every year. The hill was great. I want to get out on the boat. I want to do the fireworks show on the boat next year. So that's why I'm trying to get a boat.
Ah,
And have some fun. Why not? Like, get everyone out on it, just chill. And what's nice is the cabins around the lake will launch their fireworks off as that, right after kind of the fireworks show. So you get kind of a good fireworks show. And you're out on the water and something to do, something to chill on. Which I'd be for. I've done it before. It's great. Seeley Lake, it's Seeley Lake. What's there not to love? Oh, there was a flag. This guy had a flag that said Trump won at the parade. He was flying that. Maybe it was from 2016. Let's hope, because that didn't happen, guys.
hey man, they say he's gonna get in office in August. So
we'll see.
yeah,
We'll see. I mean,
don't return that flag yet.
But it's good old Seeley Lake. I mean, we got drenched with water. It was a hot one, 100 degrees on the 4th. The little cute parade they throw, the cars, the candy. I got a baby bottle pop, a koozie. Oh, and Joe, my little brother Joe. So the one truck that was throwing out water, all the kids swarm it because they're also handing out like the little flags, the United States flag. So this truck, the parade gets just swarmed by people wanting the flags, running up and grabbing them, right? So Joe gets up, he runs, he goes in and grabs a Powerade, which I'm thinking was like the guy in the parade's drink, like setting it on the trailer or on the cooler of ice, because he's like, yeah, man, like I won, like look what I got. It's like, Joe, like good for you, man. But it wasn't as good as that one year when we had the beers on the side of the road and you threw the one to the guy on the boat, but you overthrew the boat in the parade and it exploded on the other side of the parade and got some people soaked.
That was funny. That was misjudged, that one on my part. But did you do any? I thought I saw that you got out on. Was it your canoe while you were out there?
Oh my gosh, we got out on the water every day. So me and Jared, we actually drove up and hit the Yellowstone River, the Missouri River, did some fishing along the way, both in great spots right there in the Yellowstone and then where the headwaters of the Missouri. So we're all the three rivers right there, Three Forks. And then later that night, we got the canoe out on Seeley Lake and just did some fishing, and you saw the beavers, we saw the loons on the lake, the bald eagle flying above, the osprey, and we're fishing, we're catching pike. What's not to love? Pike fishing is great. We actually threw 3 of them back because we're like, I really don't want to eat them or cook them, and if I'm not going to use the fish, I don't want to kill the fish. So we threw 3 of them back, and then we're kind of floating by, and the sheriff came by on he was on the jet ski, but you could tell because he was a great guy, nice guy, but you could tell it was like a jet ski that they rented for the weekend or borrowed for the weekend, And he was the one that was like, "Oh, I get jet ski duty this week." Like he was that type of sheriff. Like, so he's pretty cool. Like, because he's just like, "What's up, guys? Like, how's it going?" And then just, "All right, see ya," and it just takes off. But it was good. And then he actually told us, he's like, "Well, if you catch them more, just keep them, because like they want them out of those lakes," which actually makes sense. They're not native to the lakes. And the locals, they want them gone. They want to turn those mountain lakes back into trout lakes. So we caught another one and kept it, and we're probably going to put that on the smoker. And I told my dad to do that and give it to Matt. So we'll let Matt have some of the pike.
Oh, good. Matt will enjoy that. Nice. Sounds like it was a solid day of on the water.
Yeah, it really was. And then, the cabin's always great, campfire stories, hanging out with the people there. And then next day we got up and went whitewater rafting. I was a guide.
I love whitewater. I'm super jealous.
I mean, honestly, the Blackfoot River is a great river to do whitewater rafting on.
Yeah, we've done it, right?
Yeah, that was the one we done. We just pulled out a little bit. We pulled out of the stop earlier, put in at the same place, but pulled out at the Clearwater Junction on the river, and just because we didn't want to deal with that ramp, because it was kind of a bitch to unload at that one spot. This one was a little bit better, still a little uphill climb, but beautiful day out on the water, beautiful views. We saw like a loon flock, I guess, of like this mom and some babies, and I said, shit you not, there was probably 12 babies floating behind her. So it was just a lot of them on the water. Saw geese flocks, bald eagle's nest, bald eagle, osprey, just all on the water, deer on the water. Not a lot of people. I mean, there was people, but it wasn't bad, wasn't too crowded. We had the 2 rafts going, and Seth behind, he held on in an inner tube behind on the one. I put some of the GoPro footage already on my social medias, just because we hit some pretty good rapids.
Yeah, I remember there's some solid rapids.
Oh yeah, and then there's this whirlpool too that you really have to paddle out of because how it pulls up. I guarantee you, I bet you it's some just gnarly fishing right there, just because of how the river slows down.
Yeah,
but you got to paddle through, get out of it because of how strong it is, and it'll throw you up on the current. We actually had a couple people fall off in our raft because of some rapids, and I fell off on one. We hit a rock and I kind of fell off backwards, and then Joe pulled me up, a different Joe, and he's actually pretty cool. He's a guide on the Blackfoot for Paws Up, so he knows what he's doing, but so he kind of helped guide and knew what exits to pull out of. And then the raft in front of us is funny. Tyler's 2 friends from California, typical Californians, true and through the way they act on the in the outdoors. And,
yeah.
Montanans, we love our Californians. If you don't sense the sarcasm, I'm sorry, guys. It's just you guys fuck it up. You ask the questions like, what time of year do the deer turn to elk?
That's not just a California thing. It could happen.
I know,
anywhere.
but it's the stereotype. So, let us roll with it. But they were great. They fell off the raft. They hit a rock too. Those 2 fell off, man. And it was kind of the end of the world for them because they'd never been whitewater rafting before. And they're like, oh, fuck, this is nuts.
Yeah,
but
that would be
safe.
That would be there for a first timer getting plunked like that.
It was good. Those are some good rapids on that river.
Hey, I remember doing it in that stupid little rowboat style raft.
Yeah, that's like the fishing guide raft frame we had in that you were doing. But this time we actually had 4 people with paddles. Just made it a lot easier. Well, yeah, we learned from that.
Yeah, my biceps sure did learn from that.
Hey, you appreciated it.
Oh, destroyed me. Destroyed me. No, I'm super jealous you got out whitewater. I love whitewater.
If you want to come out here, let me know. We can make it happen. The raft's at the cabin.
I don't have time.
This guy loses time.
Yeah, I got what? I can go this weekend, can't next weekend. and then I could maybe go the next weekend, but I'm planning to go somewhere that next weekend. So it would really only be able to do it if it was this weekend. And I'm not going to flip that bill.
And same. And this weekend I'm going to I'm getting on out to good old Wolf Point, Montana. We're going to go to the Stampede Rodeo out there in the middle of nowhere.
Oh boy. Sounds like a good time.
I mean, like, it's the one weekend if you're ever in Wolf Point, something to do, you know? Like, it's the town's thing. They have a parade. I shit you not. They have a parade. They do 2 days in a row, right?
Yeah, no. The Sisters Rodeo has a parade.
That does that where, like...
Oh, I don't know. I think they just do it the one day.
No, they do it. So they do it the first day.
Yeah.
And then you come back out the second day and they have, like, the winners announced, right?
Yeah.
And they parade the second day. Oh. Same shit, same cars, same candy.
That's kind of
not different.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in case you missed the first day, you can.
Well, and you get the winners, right? You get to know which ones won, like the contests.
Oh, that too.
But like, yeah, that's what we're doing. It's going to be fun, you know. But the rodeo is always a good time, and that's the night you go out, like, because it's fun to go out. They have music and stuff, live music at the bars, and you know, Wolf Point.
Solid. Yeah, I don't know quite yet what I'm gonna do. My plans on the weekend have been kind of like destroyed since my bike isn't coming out of the shop quite yet.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry.
It's a bummer. I mean, I was planning to do a bunch of rides, which was what I was trying to do over the 4th of July. I was trying to do the Rim Road in Crater, but because my bike's not out of the shop, I just spent the day in Crater instead. Yeah, so
this was the 4th or the 3rd you did this?
The 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the 3rd. Because my plan was to go up, see, get my bike and see Matt. And then I was like, I'll go down the Crater, do a hike, find a camp spot, camp, bike in the morning, home, like that. Couldn't pick up my bike. And so I ended up just doing the one day because I didn't want to go looking for a campsite.
No.
But it's another park under the belt, not going to lie. I've already been to this one a second time for me, but just as good as the first time.
Well, I've never been to Crater, and which that's kind of weird. You know, I've been out to Crescent Lake and places like that in Oregon. But Crater's one of those ones I want to get into. I want to go just to go. And it's dope that you're down there. You know, I was blessed enough to go to like Holland Lake this week, which has that same crystal clear blue water, which I love. And Crater kind of has that vibe that I want to experience.
Crater's cool. I didn't realize like how Crater sits in the area in the mountains, because it's like relatively, I mean, you're in the Cascades technically, so, but it's those big mountain plains just kind of out there. So it's a lot of flat, and then it's just kind of its own little thing. And there's like Crater in the middle, and then there's like a ring outside of other smaller but taller mountains, but like roughly 8,000 feet type deal, so nothing too towering.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it sits there weird. And then the lake's super cool. How it just sits in that crater, and it's like this dark blue, and it's cold as shit.
Yeah, I've seen videos of people diving in and acting like it's cold. So I mean, I'm not one to jump in cold water. It's just not fun.
I love it.
Like I'm a warm water guy. Like, give me a hot spring. I'm about that.
I like a good hot spring too, but cold water. No, it's cold. I mean, I've jumped in some cold water before. The Blue Pool near Eugene's super cold. The Pacific Ocean where I'm from here on the coast, that's cold. You know, the
Cracker
Pacific
Lake
Ocean
was cold.
in Hawaii, not cold.
Cracker Lake was cold.
Cracker Lake, cold as shit. Yeah, so I've been in some cold water, And Crater Lake's up there with being cold.
You jumped in though.
Yeah, and I want to go back again. Well, I want to go and ride. But the point of the ride was go do the ride, hop in the water, go back, then head home. But
Okay. Well, let's see what we can cook up this fall or something, huh?
yeah, well, I should hopefully be able to get out soon and get my bike from the shop. But
Yeah, but I'm talking me. I need to get out there and see. I need because you and Matt, I hear, are going to Lassen Volcanic National Park too, which is just another amazing national park. And those are a couple that it's like, hey guys, I want to go, but I got to find the time.
but it's tough. Yeah, we're going to Lassen. We're going to climb Lassen, which will be fun.
What kind of hike is that? Now I'm curious.
What do you mean? What kind of hike?
What are we expecting? Elevation gain, miles, what?
Oh, not very long miles wise. Like I think it's like 3 or 4 one way. So you're looking at 6 to 8 mile round trip.
Okay.
And I don't think there's a huge elevation gain for it. Okay. I could be wrong though. I never look at the elevation. I probably should more often. I just go, oh, that's what, 10 miles. We can do 10 miles today. That's my mentality.
No, I think that's the hard, like if it's 1,000 to 2,000 elevation gain, I like that. And over that 3 to 6 miles kind of range, that ain't too terrible. That's essentially what we did in Hawaii. The only thing there was his humidity and dehydration.
Oh man, the humidity there was nuts.
But I can imagine Crater being a little bit better, or Lassen being.
Yeah, Lassen, it shouldn't be too hard,
unless it's a hot day.
But that will always add a challenge. Like I think the South Sister is a little bit more of a harder hike than what Lassen is.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, so it'll still be super sweet to go. I'm excited. I went to the tallest point in Crater because that was the one hike I did. So it's like a little bit over 8. They had a little fire shelter for lookout up there.
Oh yeah,
had a couple in Crater, one on each east and west end. But it was cool to get up there because you can see the whole crater because you're kind of in that second. You're not up to the crater itself. So you're kind of back a bit, and so you can see the whole, which is pretty nuts. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous view.
I'm jealous. I really am. Yeah. I wish I would have been able to go, but I was doing my own thing on my mountain lakes. But I like my mountain lakes up here in Montana.
Yeah, I mean mountain lakes are pretty sweet. The ones I've been to been pretty on point.
I find it interesting because when I was in Oregon with Matt, when it was real hot there during those 115 degree days, we went down to the Willamette and just watching, there's a lot of people out on that water, and kind of dangerous too, watching the people on the tubes, the boats pull the tubes behind and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was quite a bit of that going on, plus the kayakers, canoers, and then the other boats, and this people doing that, right? And this people swimming on the bank, and just a lot of people. And it to be able to come up here this 4th and see not the people, I like that. But Tyler didn't go, but his friends went up to Kalispell into the sandbar. And the sandbar is this sandbar. It's out on the lake, on Flathead Lake there in Big Fork. It's just a big party. And the sandbar is a natural sandbar in the lake, so people can stand and walk in the water and all that. There's a bunch of boats, thousands of people went to this thing, they said. But people like the water and party, but I like less people.
Yeah, I like less people too. Too many people, things get squirrely. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that there's a lot of people in the Willamette because that water is dirty. It's the kind of place you go and make sure you shower when you get home.
Yeah, I'm not in that. Oregon really what's kind of crazy about Oregon is I feel with where it is at on this political spectrum, it's kind of crazy how much like their outdoors have been exploited, and where that exploit, like the rivers aren't that good. Like you don't want to eat a lot of the fish out of those rivers.
No.
The logging, has ruined forests and like elk populations. So like hunting isn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah, the logging they have actually are better than other states.
And I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm just saying like those examples of mainly the streams, like the fish, you don't want to eat that. But like it kind of sucks, and I think that is just the people. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, the Willamette is the victim to where it's at, there's a lot of large populations that run along the Willamette, and so people pollute.
Well, we use it. That's the thing. We use it.
Yeah, right. So that's why the Willamette is so bad. Now it could be better, but it is bad for a reason.
It is what it is. Exactly. Nature's nature. But yeah, I agree. And that's why I think I'm going to stick out here to Montana, because it's still pristine.
I mean, yeah, probably more, but
More so.
just because it may look cleaner doesn't mean anything. I mean, was
That's
it
true.
Coeur d'Alene Lake? That one? It's crystal clear, but you talk to people who are like, I wouldn't eat a fish out of that.
Oh, they got some big high mercury in them fish.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but that's because of the mining and stuff
Yeah.
that happened in Idaho there. Which is, if you want to look at a history and stuff happened, and you do get that near Butte and Helena, a little bit in Montana, because of that.
Yeah, what's that town that's got that pit?
The Butte, Butte, America.
Yeah, they got that just sewage. Like,
yeah, it's called the Berkeley Pit, and it's kind of the water and the tailings from the mines, all the copper mines that town was built on, and it's just like toxic water, and they'll like shoot at birds and shit that try and land on it, and basically like it's just condemned, and they don't know what to fucking do with it because it's like acidic and not good, and
that's nasty.
and it just sucks because like, what do you do? Butte's kind of one of those towns. It's an interesting Montana town. It's got a lot of history. It's the largest historic district in America because the whole town's pretty much it. People from Butte are weird, just because it's a small city in Montana. But they got Mary up on the hill there. Big old giant statue of Mary, which is a nice hike to get up there. It's kind of one of those cool ones to do. But I feel like I heard that they might be building a tram. And I've actually been able to go down into to go up to the Mary. They're going to build a tram possibly. But I've been down into the copper mines. Like, we've taken tours and stuff. They're kind of cool to see that. And see the process and what all was going on. But it boomed, it busted, and we're into oil now.
And that's working really well down in the Gulf.
You see that fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
It looked like, which actually could bring us to our next point here after, but the way the fire was coming out, it looked like a movie when the super villain was going to shoot out of there, or like some evil monster, some sort of thing.
Right.
But, no, this is a good time to thank you, Wanderers, for checking us out. Make sure that you are hitting that like button, that subscribe button, leaving us a review on the iTunes, on the Spotify's, or wherever that you are checking out this podcast today. We really appreciate it. Any kind of feedback, we love it. Make sure to check out the YouTube so you can see our beautiful faces instead of just listening to those beautiful voices. But hit the like and subscribe button there too to see all of the fun Wandering Ways stuff.
Yeah, on the YouTube too. Make sure to check out those videos like Mark's amazing 30-day road trip where he lived out of the back of a Jeep. And if you want to commemorate it, go ahead and pick yourself up that Wandering Ways swag in the Linktree bio. Click the swag button. If you're just on YouTube or Google or some sort of thing, go teespring.com/wandering ways. You'll find us. You'll find socks. You'll find shirts. You'll find whatever you want to put our logo on, and you can have it for sure.
And maybe you only like one of the Wandering Ways team members here, and you want to check out maybe just me personally, because obviously I might be the better one. Check me out, Reverend Marcus, on the Instagram, on the Twitter. I got some fun stuff there.
Hey, and you might be into Jeeps. You could check out my Jeep, the Rougarou. You might be into adventures. Check out Zach of Wandering Ways. Who knows? You can find it all with us at Wandering Ways, the nature podcast.
Yeah, let's keep wandering on. Again, do everyone's favorite segment, cool shit in nature.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect time to do that. Jump right in because I like this one. I know some of you have probably seen it. It's kind of viral right now.
Oh, no, not the goal. That's not cool shit in nature.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's not cool. That's sad because it's oil dependency.
Yeah. Oh my God, this guy is surfing. It looks like somewhere tropical, somewhere beautiful. Actually, it's a paddle board, and this orca is just swimming right along next to him.
Yeah, no, this is crazy because he's just chilling along, paddling, doing his thing, and he has an orca come check him out.
Love it.
What would you do in this?
I would fucking trip balls and probably fall off the thing. I'd be like, oh my God, you know. Because I would think he's going to try and tip me.
Yeah.
Those things, orcas, yeah, they're nice, they're friendly a little bit.
They'll mess with you.
Yeah, look, he looks like he's trying to bite the paddleboard there in the video.
Yeah.
Huh. I think it'd be cool.
Oh, it'd be super cool to get that close.
I want some good whale encounters in my life. I've decided,
dude. Canada, that's a place to go, dude.
Canada,
the place Vince, Phil, and I did our whale watching tour. My sister's the one who found it. They loved it. We went, and man, it was so cool. I would never forget that. We saw 4 different whale hunts, ospreys, a shit ton of seals. Man, we saw everything and anything. We saw it that day.
Love it.
Yeah, but highly recommend. I should remember. It's like Cowichan Bay or something like that.
Up there in Vancouver, right?
It's on Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit north of Victoria.
Okay.
And I mainly remember it because we slept in our car the night before.
Wow.
Yeah, we slept in the car the night before. I think it was the night before, or it was the night after, or both.
Or both. Yeah, you slept in that Jeep all the time.
Yeah, we did that trip. We slept in the Jeep. We figured it out. We figured it out because we had a lot of shit in that car too.
Yeah, you were there for 30 days.
Yeah, that, and we had everything that Vince had from America while he stayed. So because he was leaving right away. So we had, when I mean this, we had a lot of shit in that car.
I believe it.
Jack did well though. It was well worth it. I got another cool shit in nature just because it kind of, I don't know, cool, sad.
Is this what we're thinking of?
No, I don't know. Maybe. And then I'll get the golf one out because.
Well, then we'll review Olympic.
Or no, Crater.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God, look at all these sea lions. They're just in this like fishing net.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm okay with that. Like, go for it.
I mean, that's a lot of sea lions.
Yeah, but I think they deserve all right to those fish like that. And if they're going to benefit off us building a net, go for it.
I mean, you're not wrong there. That'd be so nuts, though.
I wouldn't want to deal with it.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. You know, there's a good number of them that died.
At least 6.
Yeah, I'd be willing to say that. At
Yeah,
least 6.
there's a lot of sea lions.
There were
Yeah,
a lot of sea lions there. There were probably like a good, I don't know, shoot, a couple hundred.
check out the YouTube, guys, if you want to see the videos when we play them. You'll see them there. You'll see our beautiful faces. You know, that tan skin from being out in nature. Or not, just keep listening to us wherever you get your podcast because we appreciate it.
We always do. We always do. Anyways, I'm going to do a quick kind of review of my time in Crater because it was a quick trip.
And it was a national park. And we do that. We review our trips to national parks.
We do. We do. I got to find my categories so I remember them.
Oh, this guy with his categories. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah. I got the notes on notes on notes here. But anyways, first category in the Wandering Ways review, or the WWR, is the awe factor. In terms of the awe factor, I'd give it 3.5, maybe a 4.
Okay, so up there, it got you. It tickled you a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're going to go, you're going to be like, holy cats. It's absolutely, because it's just, it is something. You're up in the mountains, giant ass lake, kind of all in its own thing. And even just when you're at the lake, that too is impressive as well. So when you do the like rim road around, you're getting pretty sweet views the whole time.
So it does give you the feeling like, yes, this should be a national park. I understand why.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
You do get that feel 100%.
I do want that because, like, I honestly, the first time I went to Canyonlands National Park, or no, not Canyonlands, Capitol Reef National Park, I got the feeling that it just didn't give me a good vibe. Like, I was like, oh, I don't think this would be great. Knowing now, you got to explore that one a lot better to find the cool shit. But I've always kind of felt Crater has been overhyped too.
Yeah, I mean, Crater's a good one. It gives you that, like, you know, the Grand Canyon's a bad example, but like a good example in a way, where you're like, oh, I've seen the pictures, no big deal. Then when you see the Grand Canyon, it's like, oh my God, you know. Now you're not going to get the oh my God feeling going to Crater, but you are going to be like the wow, like pictures do not do it justice.
And I like that. That's a good way of saying, because I think like some people will take Old Faithful. I don't, but others have taken Old Faithful and been like, that's it.
Yeah,
because the pictures kind of make Old Faithful look bigger and better than it is, in some people's perspectives.
Yeah, that's true.
But so that's why, like, for Crater, I always thought it could be something similar to that. But now hearing it, hearing the awe.
Yeah, no, it's got the awe you want, especially when you're at like the Crater itself. Crowds. So again, for this one, next category, crowds. The more stars, the less crowds. I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. It actually, like, in the park itself, and again, I was like midday on a holiday weekend. Inside the park itself wasn't too bad. The hike I did, you know, there were people, but I was on top by myself for quite a while. So there were people, but you weren't bugged by them. It wasn't overcrowded. It was probably at like the perfect limit. Now, if you go to like the visitors center, there's a lot more people at the visitors center, which is why it doesn't quite get the 5 out of 5. But I was actually pleasantly surprised with how the crowds were.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Next category going into it, chance of seeing wildlife. This is going to be low on the scale.
Okay.
It's not really the wildlife park. I mean, you have a chance at seeing deer. I think they have some elk. There's bear. You do have those chances, but it's really not that. Crater Lake is kind of it's water,
It's
So,
water.
but
Some animals need water.
yeah. So I mean, it's pretty important, but it's not like a good watering source. You
Yeah.
have to work pretty hard to go like down the slope and then get up. Like there's other lakes not far that probably just as good, if not
Yeah,
better.
better, easier for the animal. I feel that.
Um, the views. Next category is the views. Shoot, 5 out of 5. Views are pretty sweet. Even when you do like the road around, even though you are going around the crater itself, each time it's a pullout, there's kind of a good view. The views are, and it's a unique view for what it is. The closer you are to Wizard Island that they have there, or the farther away, they got like a thing called the Phantom Ship. I didn't go to it, but I've heard it's pretty cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
I gotta go.
yeah, you do. Next category, hikes. I only did the one hike and it was a solid hike. It was like 2.5, so one way, so it was 5 miles round trip. Took me to the highest point in the park. There are a ton of great views along the way, and then even at the top was incredible. 360 view was incredible.
Are there a lot of hikes in the park?
Yeah, there are. There's nothing too crazy, There are some backcountry stuff because I mean the PCT runs right through it. So there are stuff you can do around that. I'd probably recommend backcountry if you were gonna go crater for camping. There's not a whole lot of other camping in the park. There is some, but
Outside the park?
there's decent outside the park.
Okay.
You can find decent, nothing crazy.
Okay.
But yeah. Next category is accessibility. I mean, Crater's accessible, so I'm not going to give it a 5 out of 5 because the one hike I did go on, like, you do have to be able body, really, mostly able body to do it. So I think anybody could do it, but, there will be some exceptions.
Okay.
To it. So that's not 5 out of 5, but I mean, like, you can enjoy Crater at any level. There's a road that goes all the way around it. Great views of the crater and the lake there all around it. So like you can really enjoy your time at Crater, even at any level of accessibility.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which is it's needed. It's good to know that. Next category, really popular category, is what's the chance of seeing Bigfoot? Bigfoot possibility. I mean, it's pretty high. I'm not gonna lie.
I would think so.
Yeah, it's a high one on there. You're out in the Cascades, in the mountains. Not a whole lot of people. As for big towns, it does kind of take a little bit to get to a more populated area. Bigfoot, I could see Bigfoot being out there.
Well, and not only that, it's Southern Oregon. It's it's down there. It's by Northern California where there's where Bigfoot spotted. So I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. So I think Squatchers, go check out Crater Lake.
Right. Hard.
Yeah. And that brings us to overall, say the trip for me, 4 out of 5. It was a good trip.
Good.
I was probably just went into it a little bit bummed, so I couldn't get to quite that 5 of 5 because I really wanted to ride around on my bike because my bike was going to be running spiffy brand new, and I was like, I just wanted to crush some times. But that just means I got to do it here soon, as soon as the bike is ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had a good time. I'm excited. I like I said, I've always wanted to get down there. It's one of those things I got to plan because when I'm in Oregon, I'm not really in Oregon to do that. But I feel like more and more as I get out there, I am. So I'm excited to get something like that cooked up, because that's easy to do. And that's kind of what we preach when you're in a local spot, going to those local areas, right? Like that those areas are perfect for you. When I was in Cincinnati, I was able to go to the Red River Gorge. I was able to go to Cuyahoga National Park. I was able to go to Smokies National Park, and check out those quick areas because they were around me when I was living there. And I suggest that if you're ever traveling, you're ever in areas, you take that job. Go take that job in Jacksonville, Florida. Why? Because it'll lead you on a whole different type of adventure. Take that opportunity to go on that trip and go on, have that experience. Because I think the more experiences, the more people we meet, the more cultures we see and experience, it just makes us better as a whole. And I don't know, I'm about it.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that was like some final word stuff right there.
We're like almost to that time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we are kind of getting to it. I was going to be that guy, but I think actually this time you were that guy.
I wasn't really
jumped
getting
into one.
I wasn't really getting into it. I just kind of
No, it had that vibe.
I feel that, and it is kind of coming to that time, we wander our way, we wander our way down the trail in nature. We wander our way in our minds as we talk and as we tell our stories and think about the things we do in nature and the impacts and the things it teaches us, and we can learn from it, and how to coexist in our ecosystems, because we need our ecosystems to survive. And I think we as people can be better. So why can't we just be better? Think about the little things you do every day and how you can adjust those and fix those and better yourself, better your family, better your friends, better your relationships, whatever that may be, but I think that's it. I kind of left it. I started a little early, kind of shot the gun before the gun was shot.
It's all good.
We'll give it to you,
It was
man.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful and needed. Reverend's final words of wisdom. I mean, stay beautiful, everybody. I cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate you listening, following the Instas, checking out the YouTube when it's there, to all the people that have the Teesprings shirts and all the apparel, to the people sending in the questions. We love the questions. Keep them coming. We're hopefully going to have enough here soon to do a Q&A again, which will be super fun. Could be any kind of question you want. Could be super specific, or it could be super stupid. We'll check it out and hopefully answer it. But other than that, we talked about kind of gross rivers and that kind of deal. Human pollution, it was touched on just a little bit, but remember, a lot of small actions add up. So go next time you're on an adventure, take one item. A hike I did in Crater, I found a water bottle. I still haven't recycled it yet because I just now see it across the room. But take it, pick something up, one little thing, leave it better than you found it kind of mentality.
Hey, that's exactly a good mentality. Out here in Montana, you come across the gate. Part of the thing is leave the gate how you found it, leave it better than how you found it, because that goes a huge step further. If you do something good, someone else will see that good and be inspired by that. And those that you inspire people you don't know you inspire. People are watching in the background.
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, that being said, peace out, everybody.
Bye.